So all these fears that they have about what a seatbelt does, it chokes them, they think it's going to block them in it. It has worked the exact opposite when they don't wear it. Okay, when they don't wear a seatbelt, then you have soldiers that die. You have soldiers that flip vehicles, go into the water. They're not wearing a seatbelt, they're unconscious, they can't find themselves out of there because they're not conscious. All those different things take place. Alright? But at the end of this, it's the responsibility of leaders, because it's all part of leadership. Big part of leadership is to influence soldiers to do the things that they don't like to do. And we struggle with that. Okay? All those justifications that soldiers have for not putting a seatbelt on, or not putting gloves on, or not doing the right thing, they just didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm not going to do this. They're influenced. Alright? You have non-commissioned officers inside of that group that have to be able to convince the soldiers that it will save their lives. I'm convinced. I've always been convinced. The commander's convinced. Okay? We don't roll around without seatbelts. Okay? We don't roll our soldiers around without the right equipment. Same thing with the groin protectors. We've had a number of platoons that come through here, and you know, I get a report at the end of the day that they're missing groin protectors. Why are we missing groin protectors? I don't understand that. It's a mandatory part of the way of the equipment that you're supposed to have. Alright? Who came up with a groin protector anyway? I mean, who designed this thing? Well, I mean, what is it for? Why would somebody just sit down and say, hey guys, I think we need a groin protector? It's a stupid looking thing. Why would we need a groin protector? There's a reason for that. Alright? Soldiers suffer a lot of lower extremity injuries. So they decided, well, I think we need a groin protector, so let's all put it on. But you have soldiers rolling around out there without groin protectors. And the only one that you can look at and blame is the non-commissioned officer and the leader of that patrol. That's the only people that you can blame for this thing. Alright? If you spend 12 or 15 months in this country battling discipline, that same undiscipline is going to get on the plane with you, and it's going to go right back to your home station. And you're going to start fighting something else. Alright? I tell your platoon sergeants, and I tell your first sergeants this, and I tell the CSMs this. At the end of this tour, you ought to be able to take a list of all your soldiers and put them in some kind of pecking order of the most undisciplined at the very top. And when you get back to home station, you ought to do something about that, because these are the soldiers, these are the non-commissioned officers that are unable to maintain that. They can't discipline the soldiers right to get them to do the right thing. That's the problem. And then you're going to end up fighting DUIs, you're going to end up having a battle, soldiers getting into accidents with no seatbelts on and they're dying on the road. Alright, the same things. You've been down here before, you've redeployed, you know what this is like. Okay? So, this is a test for you. You got to straighten it out here. Alright? For the units that are getting ready to leave, you have soldiers who smell the barn. Alright? They're looking at home station. You're not there yet. You got another day in front of you that you got to get through. And every single day is different. You go on 200 patrols out here, you have 200 different days. None of it is the same. None of the patrols are the same. It's all different. And you have to prepare yourself for that. When Sergeant Major Joyer came back from Walter Reed, he sat down, had a long talk with me. He said, you know, he spent the day talking to the wounded soldiers missing arms and legs. And he said, you know what? They started to share something with me. They said that if they could come back and change something on that patrol that they went on, they would do it. So what are they saying to you? They're saying that at some point where before that injury, their mindset wasn't there. They were complacent. They weren't doing the right things. They missed something. If they could come back and change something on that patrol, they would come back and do it. But it's too late for those soldiers. It's not too late for your soldiers to get them straight. The reason why we have leaders clearing soldiers to prevent negligent discharges, and as I talk about that, we just have it. Okay, and I don't understand it. And the reason why we have leaders doing it is because leaders have more experience than junior enlisted soldiers. Okay? I make it a point to kind of clear something up with the platoons that I talk to.